fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. We are live once again. Thank God it's another beautiful day. TGIF in the place to be. And I must say, it is a beautiful day. The snow is gone in I'm in Louisiana right now. So you guys, I'm at the park. I'm just chilling out. I'm actually, look at this beautiful day. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Look how beautiful it is. Look at this shit. It's a beautiful day. All right? It is a beautiful day. We got Mama Lou coming through. Hey, Kurt, I guess I see you in 29 minutes. See you then. Gave you your first like. Appreciate you. Tommy the Machine Gun 2825. WTF, Deontay on 13th. Deontay 5150. I seen a guy I've been looking at on Instagram for a while. We're gonna see that together. I'll show it through my telly, right? And it tripped me out, man. I just did a walk. One thing I do miss about Louisiana, though, the parks. And you don't get me wrong, Texas had plenty of parks, but I miss the parks definitely here. You know, the track, miss the track, miss the stadiums. You know what I mean? It's just I did it so long. You know, I used to train in the morning, get up, run stadiums. You know, it was a good feeling. XK Shots in the building. What's good? Bill Keaveney, how's it going? Mama Lou, showing love to Mama Lou coming through. That's some top 15. WTF is Richard Torres and Guido Vianello. A beautiful day in illness dies. William Scroggins, what's up, Counterpunch? What's up, William Groggins? Or is it Scroggins, right? Scroggins. What's up, William Scroggins? Counterpunch to you, bro. James. Kurt, my man. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Just come back, Kurt. Pretty good, thanks. Bryce Productions. Hello. Counterpunch to you guys. Come in the building. Let's hit the like button. The far, the few, the proud, the Counterpunch Boxing News crowd. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You know, Arson, Alpro, A, hello, sir. Counterpunch to you. Crazy Funds, 1464. Hi, bro. Love from India. Crazy Funds, it's 1464. I'm sorry, not 19. 1464. Counterpunch to you. India in the building. That's what I'm talking about. I remember one of my favorite movies from the early 90s I saw a few weeks ago called Mississippi Masala with Denzel Washington and I don't remember her name. Her name is wait a minute. I'm going to get it because she's a very famous Indian actress. Mississippi. There we go. Boom. And this is her name is Sarita Chaudhary. She's British, actually. Bollywood WBC. Now we know who paid Mauricio the 3%. You, man, you come back. Yeah, man, you come back. Your show is the truth. Absolutely. I'm not going anywhere, man. I just need to do more lives. I need to do more lives. We're trying to reach 100,000 subscribers this year, this quarter, really. So we're in February. So I'm almost at 95,000 subscribers. We need 5,000 more to get the overall goal so I can get that plaque, you know, because I got plans after I get 100,000 subscribers, definitely. So a lot of you guys should know about the plans. I think they've been shortly altered though, but for the better. Have you seen Wilder's evidence not looking good for Fury, to be honest, Kurt. No, I haven't. I know what Fury has to say. We'll talk a little bit about that. Why not? Here, um, is this a fair ranking in the WBC? All right, let's find out. Let's find out. Okay. Let's take a look at this WBC ranking. Where did I find it? Yeah. Who sent it? Somebody sent it to me. Let me find it real quick. All right. The WBC Heavyweight Rankings as of February 26th. Hold on a second. Number 1, Lawrence Akali. All right. Now you may think, Lawrence Akali. Why is Lawrence Akali the WBC number 1? I think it had a lot to do with him being a cruiserweight on the WBC and then becoming a bridgerweight champion. And I think he became number 1 because he was the WBC bridgerweight champion. Even though I don't know if that makes sense. I never believed in the bridgerweight division. Thought it was just a sham, another slick way for Mauricio to make money off of fighters by making another weight division, right? Another weight class. But I think it has something to do with that. Daniel Dubois being the WBC. I don't know why he's the WBC, honestly. Anthony Joshua, we don't even know if he's fighting now, so why is he a part of the WBC? Now, to be fair, he hasn't said he's retired, so you could argue that, like, that's why. But being number 3, Moses Atoma number 4, Philip Hrgovic number 5, Efe Ajagba number 6, Martin McCauley number 7, Richard Torres number 8. Number 9 is Frank Sanchez. Now, here's the problem. Frank Sanchez and Richard Torres. Richard Torres is number 8, and he's in front of Frank. How in the hell is that possible? If they're both fighting for an eliminator, why aren't they where Lawrence Akali and Daniel Dubois is, or will Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua is? They have to be at least in the top 5 for them to be fighting for an eliminator, not the top 10. The top 10 is still good, but I don't think being in the top 10 qualifies you to fight for a title eliminator, because none of these guys, according to these rankings, number 9 is Frank, number 8 is Torre. They're supposed to fight for a title eliminator, meaning they're going to fight Aget Kabayel or Alexander Usyk. And that's a whole different question mark, because what we don't see the champions. We don't see Alexander Usyk. We don't see Aget Kabayel. We don't see the champions and where they rank. These are just the top, actually the top 15, right? But, the 10th, Zhilei Zhang. All right. Now, Efe Ajagba, this is how it should be. Number 1, Frank Sanchez. Number 2, Efe Ajagba. Number 3, Moses Atoma. Number 4, Philip Hrgovic. Number 5 should be Martin McCauley. Number 6 should be Zhilei Zhang. Then number 7 should be Richard Torres. Then number 8 could be someone like Anthony Joshua. Number 9 should be Jared Anderson. And number 10 should be Derek Chisora. There you go. Because I'm looking at these rankings. Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua, Moses Zatoma, Philip Hergovic, Efe Ajagba, Martin McCauley, Richard Torres 8, Frank Sanchez 9, Zhilei Zhang 10. If you ask yourself, based on these rankings, how do you think and why do you think the WBC is ranking these rankings the way they're ranking them right now? What would be the first thing that comes to mind? Can't remember. Who did Frank lose to? Frank Sanchez. He lost to the WBC interim champion, Ajit Caballo. That's the only loss that he has. Exactly. My brother, Notorious N_C_B_B6726. Money. That's absolutely right. It's all about money. All about money. The only thing I can't get, though, why the hell is Lawrence Okolie number one? I think that was kind of a masking agent because Lawrence Okolie doesn't really bring a lot as far as marquee value, money to the equation, but everybody else does. Look at it. Daniel Dubois, money. Anthony Joshua, money. Moses Zatoma, the new guy that's supposed to be the guy, money. Philip Hergovic, then Efe Ajagba, Martin McCauley, right? He's known. Richard Torres, Frank Sanchez. So why do you think Richard Torres is over Frank? Because Richard Torres is American as far as culture. They're both, Frank is defected from Cuba, but he doesn't speak English, right? So that's less of a promotional deal. So that's why Richard Torres speaks English, more marketable, money. Then Frank, then Zhilei Zhang. Zhilei Zhang would be a lot higher if he wasn't older. But he's just as relevant as someone like Martin McCauley. The only difference is he doesn't have the youth. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. This WBC ranking, heavyweight rankings, is surrounded by money. This is how Mauricio sees it. This is what he would do. Think about it. Lawrence Okolie, he is proving himself to fight anyone. He wants to take on the WBC interim champion, Ajit Caballo. He wants the opportunity to fight him. So therefore, I see him more courageous than anyone in the division. So Lawrence Okolie is number one. And the question you ask yourself, well, why wasn't Efe Ajagba, or why didn't Frank, why didn't Frank stay at number 4 or 3? Do you guys remember Frank Sanchez used to be 2, 3, right? You guys remember that, right? He used to be like ranked 2 or 3. Now he's 9. So how the hell did Frank go all the way to 9 and didn't lose since? How's it going, Kurt? Salute to you. Jimmy Jinow. Counterpunch to you. Clancy, I'll take your word for it. I've not seen him fight. No, but that's how they know. Then Daniel Dubois is number 2. He has had a tough fight with Alexander Usyk, which is regarded as the best fighter in the world. He is the WBC heavyweight champion, and Daniel, just because he's lost a fight doesn't mean he's not a true champion in spirit. Therefore, we can make him number 2. Why? Because he beat Anthony Joshua. Because he knows that Daniel Dubois is a seat filler at this point, or alleged seat filler. He's not going to bring him out of his rankings because all of these are possible potential champions. See, everybody in this list, he's basing them on how he feels they can do within his rankings. How can they pay that 3%? What are their fight purses looking like? All of these guys, probably except for maybe Richard Torres and Frank Sanchez. Maybe those guys are, the rest of them are millionaire fighters. They're getting at least $1 million to fight. All of these guys. That's Okolie, Dubois, Joshua, of course, Atoma, Hergovic, Ajagba, Bakali, You know, and Torres and Frank Sanchez are probably not getting that. Zilly Zhang, I think he got a couple million here and there, but still, no. Nonetheless, people, this ranking system is built on money. But it shouldn't surprise us because it's the WBC. It's Mauricio Suleiman. Mauricio knows that he thrives off of making money for the WBC. You know, they want that 3%. They want anyone ranked. They want you to pay those sanctioning fees. So they're getting paid by the highest paid fighters. See, here's the thing. If you knew you were if you had a sanctioning body, if like, oh, let's call it the WWCP, right? The worldwide counterpunch belt. And I know I get 6% from everybody. What's a bit high? Let's say 3%. I knew I'm getting 3%. Who am I going to reach for? Am I going to reach for those broke ass guys that make a couple $100 or a couple thousand a fight? No. I'm going to target the guys that make a couple million. Not thousand, million. Millions, moron. Millions. That's all I'm going to do. Skrilla 50 in the building, counterpunch to you. He said you can take that black, what? You can take that black belt back, but never the victory. Yep. But I got to give it to the WBC. Now, one thing I will say positive about the WBC. The belt's beautiful. That's probably one of the that shit looks like something from the UFC. I'm just gonna be real with you. The one that Usyk beat, you know, the undisputed belt, that shit looks ugly as shit. They should have took more time with it. I'm not really a fan of blocky, choppy stuff anyway. That's why I'm more of a mid-90s, early 2000s guy. You know what I mean? I could buy a new car. I just don't want a fucking new car. You know, I'm going to buy another BMW. I'm going to buy one from my buddy David. He has an M5 Denim, you know, 2000. Yeah. M5 2000 BMW. Beautiful. Probably worth about 30 grand, right? Sports car. Sports sedan with the sports package. Can smoke any other sedan of that kind. Get a 96 Super Sport and try it with a damn M5 BMW and see what happens. Yeah. That's what it's about, sir. The WBC are as happy with their champions as Trump is with peace in the UK. Damn. The WBC. This is the most prestigious belt. Usyk first has to beat Andy Ruiz. If he fights Andy, I'm so pissed off. I got a new phone, right? And this phone doesn't allow me, I recorded it on here. And I did a video about Alexander Usyk last night, him and Frank Warren, and I can't get it off of here. So I'm probably going to have to even re-record it, which I hate doing because I think that was a pretty decent take. But it is what it is. The lack of investment in is to blame for all their woes. The UK invested a lot of grassroots boxing from the London Olympics and has reaped the benefits. Ruiz has a chance against Usyk. Yeah, I mean, he's shorter. What's going to happen, though, he's just probably going to end up getting beat up. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, it's just, we've seen Andy, bro. We've seen Andy, what he's able to do, what he's physically able to do, meaning footwork-wise. You know, will he be able to cut the ring off on Alexander Usyk? You know what I mean? That's the question you ask yourself. Will he be able to contain Usyk? And I don't know. He's going to have to throw shots. He's going to have to cut off the ring. He's going to have to want to work the body. If he, you know what I mean? But Ruiz is not that type of fighter. Ruiz is a shorter fighter that wants you to overcommit into him and he uses his size, meaning the lack of size, because despite him being fat or obese, he's not a big heavyweight. He's still not. He's short. He's He's like my mom says, he's made from the floor up, right? I'd love to see Ruiz beat him. I can't see it though. No, I don't. I don't. He ain't gonna beat me. I mean, look. Shout out for Usyk fighting someone like Andy Ruiz because it's in the same ballpark. Because it's in a situation where you didn't go from one op to someone totally different in comparison to former champions. Andy Ruiz is a former champion. Deontay Wilder is a former champion. You can never take that away from any of them. Despite how much you dislike them or don't want them or don't want like to whatever, they're still former champions. So there you go. This ain't like Fury fighting Chisora the third time, is it? No, it's not. Because Chisora was never a champion. I think, yes, he's fast with his hands and breaks bones. Well, you know, I want to see what he can do with his combinations to Usyk, though. You know what I mean? Especially, you know, throw that left and a right overhand right and a left hook. You know? I think, yes, he's okay. We will restore Tyson Fury to his rightful place as number one, Mauricio Money Suleiman. Tyson Fury, we will make sure that he gets the need and the attention and the support he needs to become number one once again. I miss the 3%. I take trips every year with his 3%. Me and my side bitch. I'm in the Serieras and I'm with my side bitch. But they are still the real deal. Ruiz had 3 belts. That should count for something. That's as many as AJ, Fury, Klitschko, or Lewis. You can't put Lewis in there because Lewis actually defended the belts that he had. Fury wants to retire. And it's the same amount of belts, different belts. So if Andy would have beat him, he would be a 2-time unified heavyweight champion. First Mexican champion in heavyweight history. Nobody can ever say that about Andy, you know. I believe Andy smelt himself for a while. I think the reason that he didn't fight that Wilder fight, because he was smelling himself. Well, you want to offer me $1 million? I'm the unified heavyweight champion, former. He's just a WBC. The only combinations that Ruiz will hit Usyk with is if he has the combination lock. Andy Ruiz is training hard to come back. He's always training hard, though. What else is new? You know, the only time you didn't see him train is when he beat up AJ and he started eating sushi and hanging out with Jake Paul and doing coke. That's all they were doing, bro. Doing coke, eating sushi off of naked Japanese or Asian chicks. Because I don't know if they were Japanese or not. But they were definitely Asian. And, you know, Andy Ruiz was... I want it right by the bush. Can I put in store a little? Can you gap it? You sweat, yeah. Yeah, that's all he was doing. Him and Jake and Logan, they all boosted him up. When you hit Joshua, that's probably what gave Jake the idea that he could do it. He seen Andy do it. He thought he could punch like Andy. Yo, I can knock his ass out too, bro. Yo, listen, I can knock his ass out too, bro. I fucking catch him with that right hand, dude. He's gonna go. Bigger they are, harder they fall, bro. Lace front beard Paul. Tyson Fury will never number one, to be honest. Nobody has been number one of this generation. That's why, as good as he is, we've had to crown Usyk. Shout out to Counterpunch Boxing, the fight doctor. Counterpunch to you, brother. Counterpunch. That's what I'm talking about. What else to talk about real quick? Wilder. Wilder's doing his thing, man. Wilder's either having some kind of mental breakdown, hosting his fight, promoting his fight, or he's telling the truth. There's only three ways about it with Wilder. Only three ways, bro. Only three ways. Only three ways, man. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it, because at the end of the day, if look, sometimes you can be so disillusioned that you think you have some information that you really don't have. However, I don't think it really matters if he's telling, God damn it, if he's telling the truth, the truth will be revealed. I don't know if you guys saw, though, the Cat Williams special. It came on early 2024 and it went viral on YouTube on Club Shay Shay. It had so many views and it had so many of, millions of views. But he said something very important that it's almost like he was prophesying. He was like, look, you remember Cat Williams? It says all lies will be all lies will be revealed this year, right? And of course, Diddy went down. A lot of people went down. What's the big mega preacher church guy? Potter's House guy. He went. He resigned. So yes, a lot of stuff that took place. So this could just really be the beginning of all that stuff. Quiet kept. So Telly Givens is doing her thing. I mean, yeah, she's doing good. She's smiling from ear to ear. I've seen her like in a couple things here and there with all them damn tattoos. That's like that's new age trend shit. And everybody that's 30, all the chicks that's 35 and up that has that shit, they're just trying to be young and hip. That's a new fad. I never really supported the next new thing like that. Especially something that permanent. That's a lifestyle. That's something that you do on a lifestyle issue. What is this? Wilder has 6 years to prove his story. We are still waiting. We are waiting, aren't we, Bill? We are still waiting, aren't we? And I think that's crazy. I think that's absolutely nuts. But you would think all this time he's taken off, you would think he would have that documentary already done. You would think he would already done that. And you got to ask yourself, well, what the hell were you doing for years without fighting? What was he doing? What was he up to? Just spying on Telly Givens? I know she was him. They walked out that apartment together. I know they did. Oh, man. Doing her thing, as in spreading eagle. Now she doing it 3 times a day with some other person. Telly Givens loves nuts. I think it proves he made it all up. Deontay is giving off some Oliver McCall vibes. Let's hope he doesn't start catching feelings in the ring. Well, if he does that, that means he's not going to fight. And if he does that, that means he shouldn't be fit to fight. I got my own opinion about that. I think that all BS aside, All BS aside, man, Oliver McCall, I think he was threatened that day. He was either drugs or Don King threatened him. Somebody did, allegedly. Blessed soldier of boxing, Irish, Qatari. He blames everyone but never himself. No, he ain't gonna blame himself. Nope. He's not gonna do that, dude. He didn't blame like I should have did better. I was sloppy. Nope, none of that shit. No accountability. Nope. That's something totally different. No accountability at all. No accountability. That's what you have. Or should I say what you don't have. And that's the sad thing about Wilder. That is the sad thing about Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury, though, here's the counterpunch on Tyson. Tyson's being too lenient. You've heard Tyson today. He's like, I'm gonna pray for him. I heard he's a guy, Christ. Man, that guy in Christ wants to crack your head open, probably. So you got to be careful about that. You know what I mean? Be careful about that shite. Oh yes, oh yes. Be careful about that. Be careful about that, dude. I gotta run in here real quick. My soldiers, hold it down for me. I will be back. Give me about 5 minutes. Okay? So, who's this? Who's this old geezer here? Man, I hope I never get old enough to be a mouth breather. You know, you know, you get that old, dude. I just rather not be around. You know, you're like you've outlived decency. You've outlived poise, facial poise. You've outlived it. You know? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Man, this wind feels good though, man. I'm not gonna lie about it. But anyway, back to Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. I think that he's totally looking at that like, I mean, he may just be sincere though. He could be sincere, but like, I don't know, man. I remember, you know, when people did take offense of their own reputation, right? Like, if your reputation was to the point where you cared about it enough to stop people from shitting on it, you know what I mean? Because like, there would be no way someone would be saying that I cheated them, and I know I didn't. I beat him fair and square. I took on the boogeyman, because Wilder was the guy that if he hit you, he was pretty much doomed. You know, there wasn't no coming back from that if Wilder was able to catch you with that shot. Well, Tyson Fury got caught with that shot. You know, but maybe this is an episode, you know what I mean? Because I do remember for a while you didn't hear Wilder talk about that at all. You heard Wilder talk about a lot of other stuff. You know, this is gonna be a good time for me. I have to let you guys hear this, man. Hold on a second. It says Wilder gets trauma when Fury's name is mentioned. Yeah, he gets like something. I don't know what the hell's going on with him. PTSD. I don't know. That's probably what Telly Swift was, or Swift, yeah. That's what Telly was talking about. He probably started whooping on him. Don't say Tyson's name at my house. You are your damn boy. Andrew, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. America heavyweight be weak-minded, wig-wearing muffets, Kurt. Damn. You seen one guy wearing a muffet, now everybody wear a wig. I think that's kind of stereotypical. Hosting the stereotypes, guy. The decline in the U.S. heavyweights is shocking. End of an empire. No, it's coming. Don't be surprised. Stuff's coming back here in the States. It's kind of like a cycle. Jarell Big Wig Miller. You know what, though? Miller has now been known for something totally different besides steroids. If you notice that. Nobody has mentioned steroids for a long time. All week has been talking about his wig. But Jarell Miller's going to do something huge. He's going to use it. Jarell Miller is using that infamous day and he turned it into fame. And if anybody can pull it off, Jarell Miller is going to do something with. I'm telling you guys, everybody's talking shit about that. Everybody's talking about him. His name is everywhere now, and he's going to use it. And he won. See, he won that fight. And he won that fight, got his wig knocked off, and still won the fight. That shows that he can fight. It shows that he has heart. Shows his ass is way overweight because he could have ended that fight if he wanted to, because it came down to who wanted it more. You know what I mean? And the guy that he fought, I think he was just a guy that made Jarell look good. You know? I mean, Jarell Miller's going to use that to his own benefit. He's going to use that to his own benefit. He's going to show you exactly how you take lemons and make lemonade. Watch what I tell you. Jarell Miller's going to he's going to be on Jimmy Kimmel on that shit. He's going to be on, they already seen him on Shay Shay. He's going to be known. Watch. He's going to get those big fights. He's gonna, you know what I mean? Because he didn't bitch up with it. He went with it. Like, look, dude, here, throw that shit. Had Alexander Usyk looking at it and shit like it's a science project. So yeah, he's going to do something big with it. He's going to use that exposure for something very, very special. Watch and see. Watch and see. Jarell Miller's going to use that shit to his benefit, and he should. You shouldn't clam up and go recluse over that and be all embarrassed. Yo, I was wearing a wig. I was wearing a piece. You know what I mean? And it went off. The dude told me, yeah, it should stay on. But he said that only because he wanted that damn sale. He wanted Jarell to spend that $700 with him. So yeah, he's gonna lie to him. Knowing damn well that's the dumbest thing you could ever do. Get a toupee in a boxing match. It's crazy. Miller only won because his wig distracted the other fighter. Hell, wear a different man until in each fight. Yeah, that would be cool. He would be like a big ass, not Daniel Zaragoza. What's his name? Jorge Paez. You guys remember Jorge Paez, the old Mexican? He used to work for the circus at one point. Miller is like Dillian White. You can't knock the hustle. Made lemonade with lemons. Absolutely. But Jarell likes to work the body. I think he should have better variety than he does, though. You know. Was it Chris Eubank that tattooed his hairline? Yeah. It was. He's done that 5 o'clock shadow shit. Yeah. I would never do that shit. I mean, it's basically SRP though. It's SRP. So SRP is like the procedure that you do. You have the tattooing in. Like you could tattoo. Like I could get it done now, and then they could tattoo all in here, and it would actually look like it would look a lot fuller than it really is. And the only reason I haven't done it, I work for the film industry. There is no there is no guarantee that I won't go do that shit and be like, yeah, look at me. And then someone calls me the next day, the very next day, and says, hey Kurt, uh, are you available to double Forrest Whitaker again or some other bald headed guy? No. See, this can always be cut off and it will grow back. You can't say that for that shit. You would have to put something over it, meaning some kind of mascara or some kind of shit they would have to put over it to hide the shadow. So Alex Max Powers at in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Was it? Yeah. Miller's set to come in his fight next with a dreadlock man unit. Man, if that comes off too, you be like, dude, you're just like, that's some female shit. But yeah, man, I let's see, Alex Power. I remember the Rangers manager Dick Advocate advertising the, the hair treatment. Good evening, Kurt. Nikki Blue Eyes Austin throwing in it in the crowd. And what else would you do to that embarrassment already happened? Yeah, I mean, hey, he did what he did. Hey, there you go. You got somebody got it today. Somebody got that man unit. Somebody could sell it in eBay in 10 years. Man, this is Jarell Miller's hair unit, the guy that got his shit knocked off. Oh man, that's crazy. Wilder told him, you ain't got no top. You ain't got no roof. Oh, that was funny, man. That was some good times. Shit. Good times. I remember Pele flogging blue pills. Yep. Man, that wind feels good. That wind feels real good. Damn. I'd like to see Miller versus Parker. I think Parker would beat Miller. I just think he'd beat Miller. I mean, because the problem would be Miller, you don't know what shape Miller's going to come in. And at this point now, I'm convinced that Miller is not reliable to come in shape. You can't depend on him to come in at a healthy weight. So that being said, you don't know what the hell he's going to do. You know, him, Andy Ruiz, Martin McCauley, them cats like that, they can't stop eating. They got an eating disorder, bro. They're obese. They got money, so they'll eat. A lot of people's vices: drink, smoke, do coke, smoke weed. You know, a lot of people like to just have sex by the abundance. But then some people's vices are food. And I think that applies to Jarell Miller. It applies to Martin McCall, and it damn sure applies to Andy Ruiz. I think Andy has probably been, because he's the smaller out of those guys, right? He's smaller than McCauley and Miller by far, but he still has that issue. He can't stop eating. He just can't. So if Miller comes in at 300 plus, he ain't going to beat Parker. There's a lot of people he won't beat. He sure won't beat no one like McCauley. McCauley would destroy Miller. That would, and he wouldn't, you wouldn't have to, like, he wouldn't have to knock Miller out, but knock him out. Because someone like, no, absolutely not. Because I just see those uppercuts landing, bro. Those uppercuts that, you know, and then McCauley hits, I'm sorry. Yeah, McCauley, that's right. McCauley hits hard. But then he puts combinations together, you know? Parker couldn't handle Joyce. I don't think Miller gives him the same problems. No, because Joyce was a big guy that's very active still. He's not big in that way. He's not fat and obese. He's just slow by nature, but he's still able to do stuff. He's just not the fastest puncher. But his stamina's dope. Yeah, he will go and go and go some more. He will keep going, blow to blow, toe to toe. Here we go. Parker couldn't handle Joyce. I think Miller gives him the same problems. If it your job to be on a weight, stop eating or get out of the business. Well, heavyweights, it's hard to tell a heavyweight to stop eating because there's no weight regulation that's telling them that they can't be a certain weight. So, yeah, that's it. But yeah, man, Miller ain't no Joe Joyce. He sure ain't. He has a better chin, I still feel, but I think he can get KO'd. But see, once he starts getting KO'd, it's over with. He should just shut it down. He should shut that whole thing down after that. After that, if the day Miller gets knocked out is the day he needs to retire. Because the next person's going to do it, then the next person's going to do it. The next person's going to do it. They're going to find out a way, okay, he's weak in this area. He's damaged now. That cranium's cracked. So, yeah, it's easier and easier to get knocked out from that point on, right? Andy Ruiz is unprofessional. Snickers, please. I get my day going with Snickers. But yeah, man, I'm gonna jump off of here. I gotta do some stuff. I may go live a little later. I have some more videos to drop. But until then, guys, we will reconvene and talk more about boxing and life. Of course, please subscribe, like, and share. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.